Meanwhile, let's dip in on the ongoing Dave Rubin saga, where he is running desperately. I'm starting to think that he's afraid he's going to get canceled by the Blaze. Remember, this guy was just last week was out there saying that the secularists. Now here's the thing. Glenn Beck is extremely religious, and he has some very weird religious ideas. He has sort of a guru. I used to have a guy who was on the inside there. He's no longer there, but I'm convinced Dave is worried that his job there is on rocky ground, because I suspect, this is all speculation on my part, and I welcome Dave to come on this program or to have me on his and explain to me how I'm wrong. I will be the first to platform that. So Dave, if you're listening, but I suspect what's going on with Dave Rubin is his show was not doing well on Blaze. And to the point where he had to come out and say that secularism has completely destroyed our values in this country. And he listed off all the sort of the degrading of our values. And somehow he didn't list off the biggest degradation of our values as articulated by the right and conservatives in this country, which is, of course, the onslaught and the attacking of the institution of marriage as being about a man and a woman. It's Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve. But Dave Rubin sort of glossed over that and didn't apparently think that was relevant. And of course, I can't blame him, because you want to maintain your marriage if you're married. Here is Dave Rubin.
Does he?
Or the alternate theory that I think Jamie expressed was that this is his way. This is his exit strategy out of the marriage.
Mm-hmm.
But
just too much of a coward to say so.
But here is the next step that he's got to take, and that is to be a little bit misogynist and a little bit racist, but also to claim this is not about misogyny or racism.
Man, I do not like her. I do not like her. And let me be very clear.
Pause it for 1 second.
Let me be very clear.
He's talking about Kamala Harris, who he really doesn't like. Now, I wonder how many times he knocked her when she was senator of his state, back when he was still trying to pretend like he wasn't just a, typical right winger. But go ahead.
Man, I do not like her. I do not like her. And let me be very clear. Let me be very clear for the Twitter trolls and the loser YouTubers who clip everything I say and remove words and then try to make things out to be not what they are. It has nothing to do with her being a woman. It has nothing to do with her being black. There's also this question. A lot of people are saying she's not even black because I guess her father is Indian and her mother is Jamaican. And a lot of Jamaicans don't consider themselves black per se. They just consider themselves Jamaican. Okay, I'm not even going to get into the minutia of that.
I'm not even going to
nothing to do with the complexion of her skin, not even or her boobs, or anything else. She's just deeply unlikable. She comes off as extremely entitled. Try to imagine a man behaving that way. How would you feel about it? Pretty much the same way, and that's the point. So look, if we're choosing winners and losers here.
Pause it 1 second. First off, Dave looks really sleepy in this, doesn't he? Is it me?
Yeah, he seems like super zanned out.
What's going on with I mean, listen, I come in here, I'm exhausted, but he looks like, I don't know. I'm a little concerned.
Well, look, he was so not mad at the stuff that people were saying about him that he didn't take a bunch of Xanax.
Can we just say just an easy point that when Jamaicans come to America, that for instance, the police department would treat them like they're black and not like, oh, there's a Jamaican there, and treat them differently.
You don't think they'd hear a Jamaican accent and be like, oh, excuse me.
Race is a political construct that people don't get to choose for themselves. That's kind of how it works.
It's fun.
I was just looking at a study today. I think it came out in May. I'm trying to think of where this is. Oh, here it is. Actually, yeah, May 5th, 2020, Stanford News. Black drivers get pulled over by police less at night when their race is obscured by the veil of darkness. This is a Stanford study that came out. This is after analyzing 95 million traffic stops filed by officers with 21 state patrol agencies and 35 municipal police forces from 2011 to 2018. Researchers concluded that police stops and search decisions suffer from persistent racial bias. Oh, we don't need to pull over that guy. I can tell he's Jamaican. That's not
Yeah, did they do the study with the ones that had a Jamaican flag on their bumper sticker? Because I think that might.
But I love how he's like, when people are going to pull this, the YouTube haters. I mean, come on. He's got to be talking about us. I hope so. YouTube haters are going to pull this. And I just want to say,
Hi, Dave.
Not because she's black. Although, let me dig into the same racist trope that they use with Obama. And like, maybe you have a problem with her because she's a person of color. How about that? Is that better? All right, but let's hear his explanation. She's so entitled. She's like, what's that word I'm looking for? She's like got this like thing where she thinks she deserves to be able to speak when the white guy. She's like, so what's the word I'm looking for? Entitled. She feels like she's up above people. What is the word I'm looking for? Go ahead.
As I said with the regular debate, the presidential debate, winners and losers, it's like, okay, it's whatever that middle group is, that undecided group of people. And did you move anyone anyway? Well, the VP debates, I don't think there's any numbers on this really. I'd love to see some stats on this. In the history of presidential elections, has the VP choice ever made a real movement one way or another? And I don't know that there's any evidence of that. Whoa, lost my cap on my pen there.
How much research has Dave done on that question? Like, I'd like to see a bibliography.
Right. Well, I mean, the fact is that the research, particularly in recent elections, shows that there's not a lot, but it's also very hard to sort of like pull this, to disaggregate this stuff. There are narratives that get created, so it's very difficult. But bottom line is, I don't know that debate moved anything either. Although it was like the second most watched vice presidential debate or something like that. But I don't know that it changed any decisions. In which case, then mission accomplished because they're in the lead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this whole clip is him just trying to brand himself as like kind of a right-wing edgelord like Milo or whoever. But like, look, there's a way to be an edgy, gay, misogynist bro or whatever. He cannot pull it off. He sounds like a serial killer with mommy issues.
I think in this, I feel like he was under the weather in this video. Yeah. I think like when you go, oh God, I dropped my pen. I just feel like he was under the weather. It's okay. Look, I went on, I covered the debate and, you know, I don't think I actually had a half bottle of tequila, but I feel like I could have. So I'm okay with that, but it is interesting. And somebody out there can find the tweet that I did about Dave when I said at one point, I'm quite convinced of it. Maybe I was talking about his change on abortion, but this was like 2 or 3 years ago. Maybe I said 6 months from now. There was definitely something where it was quite clear where Dave was going with his career. I mean, it's quite predictable. All you need to do is follow the smell of money and know that he's going to be there.
Well, I guess this just shows the great lengths that some people will go to avoid getting a real job and, you know, kind of fuels our argument for why we need to get rid of capitalism.
There you go.
I agree. Work is bad. Dave Rubin is right about that.
I am definitely down with no work. I'm looking right now at my sign from my Situationist movie that work is the blackmail of survival. There you go.
It really is, though.